Hi there, Joel from Jonesy's in. Today we're kind of have a little crisis out here at the shop. We had a windstorm and a couple trees fell down, and there was a pretty darn close call. One of the trees actually fell on our mule. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna try and pull some of those dead trees down with our vintage worn 8274 winch that I rebuilt probably 10 years ago and hung on this nice old farm truck here. So that video is coming up next. So here's the stand of trees that was planted way back next to the shop. And as you can see, some of the shrapnel, we had a windstorm, and when these trees were planted, they were actually planted a little bit too close together. So a lot of the ones on the interior rows are dead. So we've got one that came down and actually hit the back of our little mule. And we also have one right here in front of us that is broken and teetering right there. And it is leaning, the top of it is leaning precariously towards our shop building. So the plan will be to hook up the worn winch cable right there as high as I can reach without getting on a ladder, because I don't want to spend any more time underneath that tree than possible. Run the winch cable back to this robust, sturdy tree as low as possible through a snatch block, and then back to the good old logging truck and use that 8274 winch to pull it over in as controlled a fashion as physically possible. All right, so we got our choker cable or winch cable hooked up to the tree with the bad top. Now we're gonna anchor our snatch block to this tree. Now anytime you guys winch for recovery or whatever, you want to use a tree saver to wrap around so that you don't cause damage to the tree when you're pulling on it. You also want to anchor as low on the tree as possible so that you don't have leverage working against you. So we'll go ahead and get this cable rigged up on the snatch block with the shackle. And we're good to go. So let's head back to the logging truck and we'll start putting some tension on this thing and see how it falls down. So using the winch to pull this over actually worked pretty well. So we're gonna go ahead and hook up another one. This is this middle one right here in the middle that we're gonna do. And as you can see, if you follow it up, all the way at the top, there's no needles, and so it's totally dead. This one right next to it is also dead. So this one should be a direct pull from the winch, and hopefully it'll just split those two trees and just pull straight back to the truck. Now, on this one, I'm actually going to choke it up a little bit higher since it isn't broken off. So I'm going to set up the ladder and try to get it choked up a little bit higher so I have a little bit more leverage to help pull the tree over. Chainsaw. Woo! So of course the last one was the most difficult. What happened is that it actually got wedged between two trees, kind of like this, and it got stuck. So what we ended up having to do is I re-rigged the winch cable several times and then had to make a relief cut at the stump with the chainsaw to allow the tree to kind of swivel around and then finally come down and hit the deck. So that's don't ever try this at home. You got to be really careful when you're doing stuff like this because a lot of things can go wrong, and there's not a lot of exit paths for your escape routes. So keep that in mind if you guys are going to attempt to try any of this on your own property. Now, back to the hardware. This is the old logging truck. It is a 1976 K20 Chevy. Originally had a 400 in it that I removed and sold to a friend that rebuilt it for his Camaro. It came equipped with this winch and with this old style worn bumper that was in pretty raggedy, rough shape. And I refurbished this worn winch, and it has just been an absolute workhorse for me ever since. We use it all the time. It's got a nice toolbox on the side where I can store all my saws, all my rigging, all that stuff, so I can go down in the woods with it and perform all kinds of logging and maintenance tasks. So eventually, the plan for this truck will be to swap it over to a Cummins 4BT, because as you can see, it kind of just sits here as a yarder in a lot of situations, because we use the winch for all kinds of farm stuff. And a Cummins 4BT with a manual transmission would be better to just sit here and idle to keep those batteries charged for the winch. So anyway, hopefully you guys enjoyed this video, and I enjoy reading all your comments. So post any questions you have, and thanks for watching. Please hit the subscribe button.